on to good morning. Now we'll move on to the next topic. In previous session we have discussed different types of user interfaces like graphical user interface, character user interface, and touchscreen user interface. Today we'll move on to the next topic, that is system software BIOS. This topic also already we have discussed. Small recap we'll see, and we'll move on to the next topic. BIOS stands for Basic Input Output System, is commonly known as a system BIOS. It is a small program which will be initializing all other functioning components of our computer. Thus we have discussed already. The initial function of BIOS is to initialize all the devices such as RAM, hard disk, CD, and video display card and other hard drive. We have discussed this already. Actually, at the time of manufacturing ROM, this BIOS program will be designed and it will be placed inside our ROM. By default, it will be placed inside the ROM. Next we'll move on to the next topic, that is device drive. Device drive is also a system software that acts like an interface between device and the user or the operating system. Just look at this thing. A computer accessories like printer, scanner, web camera, all those things can be accessed with the help of a driver software. See, whenever just imagine I have a PC, I don't have a printer with my PC. I have planned to buy a printer. I'm buying that printer, and I want to attach that printer to my PC. Directly, if you are attaching our printer with our PC, that printer will not function properly. So initially, whenever we are attaching a new peripheral device to our computer, it's mandatory we need to install driver software. After installing this driver software only, we can access that particular device. So it will be called as device drive. Device driver must be installed before using a particular device. So similarly, whenever we are buying any kind of printer or scanner, along with that device, they will be providing a CD, that is a device driver software. Sir. So whenever we are attaching any software, ensure that that device driver software is installed, then only we can access that particular device. I hope you will be understanding what is device driver. Device driver is a software which will be used for accessing a particular device to our PC. So it's mandatory. Next we'll move on to the important thing, that is language processor. This topic also we have discussed. Our computer can understand only machine language, that is binary language that everyone knows, but as a user we can understand only a normal English, but our machine cannot understand that language. So somebody should be placed in between myself and my computer to convert my own understandable language to the computer understandable language, that is binary language. It will be called as translator, is otherwise called language processor. As we have discussed in previous chapter, computer can understand only binary language, so it will be very difficult for the programmer to write the entire program in ones and zeros. So we need to play some language processor to convert our high level, that is user language program. Our programming language will be called as high level language, and machine understandable language will be called as machine language. So we need to play somebody to convert this high level language to machine understandable language. That intermediator will be called as language processor. The common language processor are compiler and interpreter. These are the main language processor, compiler and interpreter. Actually, compiler and interpreter, both the things will be used to convert high level language to machine language for machine purpose. Then only machine can understand. Then the difference between compiler and interpreter is compiler will read the entire program and it will be converting the entire program into a machine understandable code, but interpreter will convert line by line. It will not take the whole program, it will be converting line by line, and if any error is present, then and there it will be providing the error and we can rectify the error. But in compiler it is not like that. It will be converting the whole program. If any error is present, for the whole program only it will be producing. That is the difference between compiler and interpreter. Both the things will be called as language processor. Next we'll move on to the next topic, application software. Actually, application software also will be depending upon our operating system. Application software will be used only for a specific purpose, or only for a particular user purpose. If I'm performing some specific task based upon that particular software, then it will be called as application software. This application software can be classified into four types. One is utility software, general purpose software, customized software, and developer tool. These are the four types of application software. A software which will be performing a specific task will be called as application software. Utility software, general purpose software, customized software, and developer tool. These are the four types of application software. Now we'll move on to the next thing, that is utility software. Utility software will be present in our computer to perform various tasks like text editor, to do task, compression, disk defragmentation, antivirus. All those things will be called as utility software. For making our computer work very efficiently, we'll be using all these software. Mainly this utility software is used for making our computer functioning efficiently. For that purpose only we are using this utility software. The utility software available are text editor, do task, and then compression. Everyone is familiar with compression software. And then text editor everyone knows. And then everyone knows what is that, disk defragmentation, antivirus, everyone is familiar. All these softwares will be called as utility software, which will be functioning to make our computer uh, working very efficiently. And some common text editor softwares are, we are using Notepad, Notepad plus, WordPad. All those things will be called as text editor. That will be one of the utility software. To do tasks, to manage our work. Compression software, which will be used to reduce our size of file when we are transferring from one computer to another computer. Example will be using WinZip, WinRAR, Zip. All those things will be called as compression software. That is also one of the utility software. Next we'll move on to the next thing, disk defragmenter. Defragmentation is actually will be rearranging the used memory and unused memory together. You just imagine a box. We have 100 what is that, blocks, that is 100 divisions inside the box. If somebody else is somebody is instructing you to arrange pens inside the box. Actually they are giving only 50 pens, but how many places, how many boxes are there to arrange inside the box? 100 boxes. So how will you arrange? Few people will be preferring like they'll be arranging in a continuous manner. Few members will be arranging then and there wherever they want. Like that it will be happening. Similarly, in our computer memory also, the data will not be stored continuously. Wherever that sufficient memory is there the data will be stored, but it will not be good. So we'll be using a concept called disk defragmentation to arrange the used memory together and unused memory together to make our memory usage more, as well as to make our programming process very fast. So this is also one of the utility software. Apart from that, we have antivirus software. In this antivirus software, will be protecting our computer from virus, worms, trojan horse, and other frauds also. So these are the utility softwares. Now we'll move on to the next thing, that is general purpose software. In case of general purpose software, everyone knows a software which will be used for general purpose in the sense anyone can use that software by installing that software in their electronic gadgets. Then it will be called as software, general purpose software. The best example of general purpose software is MS Office. MS Office, whomever wants, they can install it in their computer and they can use. Inside that MS Office package, we have lot of sub packages like word processing, spreadsheet, presentation, database, all those things available inside this MS Office. So all those things will be called as general purpose software. This there are common software used by everyone in the world. Examples are word processing software we are using MS Word and Writer, spreadsheet MS Excel and Calc, presentation MS PowerPoint and Impress, database MySQL, Oracle, MS Access, all those things will be called as database. Actually database which will be used to store huge amount of data, and it will be performing all the operation based on queries. Presentation, it will be presenting a particular information in an attractive and interactive way. And spreadsheet, it will be storing the data in the form of tabular column, and it will be performing all simple calculation, and visualization of data also will be a very interactive thing. And then for creating a simple document and letter application, we'll be using this word processing. So these are the general purpose software. Now we'll move on to the next software, that is customized software. Customized software, we can say best example of our customized software is our RD Skynet. Our RD Skynet was actually it is developed for our own purpose, for maintaining our school properly, or for maintaining our students records properly, for conducting competition, all those purpose we are using this RD Skynet. That is one of the customized software. Depending upon our use, if you are designing any software and if you have started using that software, that will be called as customized software. uh, um, Example, in few restaurant they'll be designing their own software and they'll be using it, and a few banking they'll be designing their own software and they'll be using. These are the examples of customized software. I hope you will be understanding what is software, what are the classification of software under application software, what are the classification, what is BIOS, all those concepts. Now we'll move on to the next thing, developer tools. Developer tools, when a programmer starts the process of writing a program to develop a software for any type of application, he or she requires a software for developing that. In case of our thing, what is that? We are developing a Python program with the help of some PyCharm or something. So similarly, for developing any software will be depending upon some software, right? So this will be called as developer tool. Will be depending upon some software to develop a particular software, then it will be called as developer tool. For our RD Skynet will be using like PHP. It's a programming. For that we'll be using some apps like some applications like Exam, PHP Storm. All those apps we are using for developing our RD Skynet. So similarly, for developing a particular software, we'll be depending upon some developer tool, integrated development environment, that will be called as IDE. Will be depending upon that, then this will be called as developer tool. Integrated development environment, IDE, will be used for developing some software, that will be called as developer tool. Some of the popular developer tools are NetBeans, Eclipse, IDLE, Visual Studio, all those things. With the help of that, we'll be editing or will be typing our program, will be compiling it, and will be getting our result. This will be our developer tool. So these are the things will be called as application software. Compiler, already we have discussed. Actually compiler is used to convert high level language program into machine language. It will be converting the entire program into a machine language. If any error occur for the entire program, it will be producing the error with line number mentioning. It will be converting high level code to machine if all errors are removed. If no error in our code, it will be converting high level to machine. Once if it is converted, directly it will be start executing without interacting with the compiler. Next, interpreter. Interpreter will be converting high level into machine. It will translate high level code line by line, as well as it will be executing at the same time. If any error occurs, it stops the execution and report the error. So then and there we can rectify the error in case of interpreter. There is a clear difference between interpreter and compiler. Actually compiler will convert high level code to machine code in one go, but in case of interpreter, line by line conversion, and errors will be reported at last in case of compiler. But whenever error is encountered automatically, for each and every line error will be reported. and it will be executing program. When all errors are rectified, it convert and execute simultaneously. It is very fast, it is slow, because then and there it will be waiting for the user to rectify, and it will be taking less memory, because after conversion of compiler is not required in memory with execution, but it takes more memory, because interpreter is required in memory with each and every execution. It's not suitable for debugging process. It is it is very comfortable for debugging process. Debugging, bug means error, debugging means removing error. So we'll these are the difference between compiler and interpreter. Now we'll move on to the next topic. I hope you will be understanding all these things. Next chapter we'll be discussing in next class. Just to make a summary of all those things. And your homework is, you mention, you write all these homeworks in your observation itself. Just write what are the application softwares we are using in our day-to-day life under the different categories, like what are the customized software, what are the few examples for each category. Write four examples. What are the general purpose software, what are the applications, what are the customized software, uh, and then what are the, what is that, utility software. For each and every software, five examples or four examples, uh, what we are using in our real life, you must write in your observation along with your notes. You just mention the topic as homework and write all these things. This is for checking your understanding level only. Similarly, which are the device drive software we are using for each and every device. I have given few examples. Don't write that example, you think yourself and decide what are those things, and you have to write. Similarly, compiler, interpreter, what are the IDE we are using based on compiler, what are the IDE we are using based on interpreter. For that also five examples. So today's session got over. Thank you, we'll see in next class. If you have any doubt, then and there you ask me. Thank you.